All right, last modern deck of the afternoon, then we're gonna move on to some standard. This is some black, white, super friends. Details on how my deck submission process works here. So, goalie with the $100 tip. Shut up, Jeff, shut up. All right, sounds good. Let me know when you find a list that you like. Sorry, so this, and that's absurd, goalie. Thank you, I appreciate that. So anywho, we're diving into this league. We've played various iterations of this archetype before. I don't think I've actually played on stream an iteration that's had Wall of Omens in it before. And I actually really like Wall of Omens in this deck. And one of the reasons why I like Wall of the Omens in this deck is for a lot of the same reasons that Gideon of the Trials is good. Which is Wall of Omens and Gideon of the Trials are soft removal that make your opponent play out more creatures into play to get through your soft removal. And then you get to be extra punishing when you cast your Yu-Gi-Oh card and destroy all the creatures in play. I would just like to take one more moment for people that haven't heard me do it before to rag on whichever person approved this frame at Wizards of the Coast. I hope they no longer have their job. This frame is terrible. And remember, when you see something like this in Magic the Gathering, this got approved by multiple people. So at no point during the process where they were looking at these things, they were like, this probably isn't good. So, yep. Yeah, they're really bad. And the worst thing is in paper, they're illegible. Like you can't read the titles on the cards. They don't look like English. $100 bits for every Yu-Gi-Oh card cast. Sounds good, Captain Command. And the saddest part about it is I actually really like the actual artwork on a lot of those masterpieces, but the frame is so terrible I would just never play with them in paper. Where were the Tron lands when we were playing JAC? Where were the Tron lands when we were playing Narset Cannon? Why is it every time we queue up a gosh darn mid-range deck, Magic Online's just like, hey Jeff, how you feeling about a Tron piece this afternoon? Just like, Aah! You know, you gotta take your licks sometimes. WotC just has like half a dozen people sitting in their cubicles with Tron decks queued up when we fire up a mid-range deck. Yeah, I agree, Wraithmorn. The days artwork is just A+. It's cool we can Fatal Push a turn 3 card. We got Damping Spheres and Field of Runes, chat. How could they ever possibly win? Alright, I mean, real decks have curves, chat. We're gonna get to go Lingering Souls, Gideon, Sorin here. Just 3, 4, 5, 6 right on out. How many wild cards do I need to build Tron on Arena? You can't, and it's glorious. Maybe they don't have a fourth land, and we're just gonna be able to, like, play Rad Chad here, and... Derp, derp, stone renew, derp, derp, stone renew. Tron, 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 Tron. Tron, 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 Tron. Alright, I've got these Damping Spheres. I've got these Stony Silences. I've got this Anguished Unmaking. And most of all, chat, I've got a prayer in my heart. I'm a hoping and a praying. I'm hoping that like they kill us quickly. Please, Dear Tron player, deliver us into the sweet embrace of nothing very quickly. 1 LD bit because Marty's keeping me honest. All right. This is No Lava, love watching you play a real video game instead of the spreadsheet. Bring on the lovely standard content. Thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. We'll be here to standard soon enough. We really just like want to draw lands for the rest of this game, right? Just like curve right on out. If we curve Stony into Gideon of the Trials, we might have a real chance here, at least in this game. Stony Silence is one of those cards. It's either like a 2 or a 10 in this matchup. Either it wins the game on the spot by shutting off most of their hand, or it just does stone nothing. So turn 1 map into our turn 2 Stony Silence is pretty good for us. Zekathan, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. Know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for choosing to support mine here this month with that. I can't lose the game, chat. This is a real easy way to beat Tron. It says I can't lose the game. Do I get a timeout for admitting to being a Tron player? Listen, this is the best piece of advice I can give you. You should never feel bad as a player for playing a busted Magic deck. It is not your job as the player to balance Magic the Gathering. The only person whose fault it is that busted decks are legal in the format is Wizards of the Coast. Yeah, I think so, Dannon. I need to jam into the white mid-range decks a little bit, but I think those are probably fine enough. Honestly, I think I probably will just play Pirates there just to get it out of my system, if anything. God bless you, Tron player, for putting us out of our misery quite quickly. How much democracy do I need to send your way to see Rainbow Lich tonight? Generally speaking, Zach, in order to shuffle up the series that I already have put in, I look for a $100 donation. Somebody already put 10 in for Rainbow Lich, so it would be 90. But to get it first thing tomorrow, it would be much, much less than that. Because the first thing tomorrow, you just have to beat the top deck in the queue. So if you wanted to be first thing tomorrow for tomorrow's standard stream, it looks like tomorrow the top deck's going to have like, I don't know, like 50 points or so. And again, the price to cut into today's queue is high to discourage people from doing it. Because once I have a plan, I prefer not to mix up that plan. But at the same time, yeah, it's going to make it worth my while. Why not? Red Dolph, thank you for the 3-month resub. And I still feel like I need another timeout. Of course, always. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. Have we gone against Rakdos Burn? I have not played against Rakdos Burn with Pirates yet. The mono red matchup feels pretty good with Pirates, so I have to imagine Rakdos Burn would feel okay for similar reasons. They're kind of fumbling and bumbling around here. So I get to go ahead and play Lingering Souls here. Smack them for another 4. Sounds good, goalie. And then I can path one of my Souls tokens on their end of turn to get to my 5th land. We tried, chat. We tried. And that's what really matters. That we gave it the college best. They drew the Ugin. We conceded. And like that is why a lot of time maybe I should have just conceded the match when they played a Tron Land turn 1. But that's how a lot of those games go. You get really, really close. It's like Tron is like the bully that's like holding their hand on your forehead. And you're just like swinging your arms wildly. And just when you think you're going to smack the bully in the face, they just like kick you in the crotch and knock you over. You're just like, ah, get down. 4 copy of... That's not even good enough, Captain Command. Honestly, just punt the Tron matchup. You can and should just punt the Tron matchup with decks like this. I'm gonna bottom that. I'm gonna bottom that. What's going on, King? Yeah, we're doing a long stream today. So we're finishing this deck up in Modern, and then we're gonna move right on into doing 5 or 6 hours of Standard. Spire Bluff Canal. I have to imagine a lot of Spire Bluff Canal match decks are okay matches for this. So like, we got good tools for beating Storm. Looks like Storm. Getting into the Trials is one of our better cards to have in this matchup because remember, it's not just Disruption that beats combo decks like Storm, it's Disruption plus a clock. And getting into the Trials being a 4/4 is a very reasonable clock. So part of me wants to escalate this just to drain them, but I really don't want to have escalated it if I get remanded. I think I just take gifts here, right? Probably. Yeah, I'm just gonna take gifts. Bloody Roar, just as a note, you might not have been here earlier when I said about it, I prefer if we just don't talk about the Todd Stevens stuff. It's like, I prefer talking about that kind of stuff gives, yeah, you're fine. Untime them out. You can remove it, but just like, let's just like not get into it. So they have Remand, Double Ritual. Oh, I crossed out their guy, right? I think I'm going to go ahead and Thoughtseize here. I really don't want to play the Gideon into the Remand and then have them untap and kill me. So I'm going to do this. Probably take the Remand out of their hand. Yeah, you're fine. You couldn't have known. Just, you know, don't support his stuff. Speak with your wallet. Speak with your view. I think them remanding there is actually pretty good for me, rather than just like letting us take the remand. Okay, I'm happy with that decision. Double Electromancer. Well, I've got double Doomblade, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take the Desperate Ritual here, and just like slowly work my way through killing their Electromancers. You should just look it up, Apprentice. Go look on Reddit. Go to the website Hipsters of the Coast, has an article about it. There's been a couple of really big threads about it. I prefer not to get into it on stream. What does Stoneforge add to the format? It gives white mid-range decks the ability to have a clock to combine with their Disruption. And Modern's very much a format where you need to kill people efficiently, so having a clock is a big deal. We could die by tapping out here, but I think it's right to get the Gideon into play. Yeah, you speak with your wall. It's just like when I talk about people Modern and Standard content on this channel, right? If you want Modern, support my Modern content, whether that means donations or watching the videos on YouTube or on Twitch, etc. That goes for just everything in general. As a consumer, as a purchaser of things, that's your most powerful asset. Just like when you say one thing and then like go give that person or thing more money, like you're giving them money, that's telling them they should keep doing what they're doing. And for people who think, oh, I don't give them money directly, I just watch or I just use the service, that doesn't matter. The fact that you're in there is what counts. Did they really draw Manamorphose? Did they actually draw Manamorphose for the turn? Welcome to Modern. Enjoy your stay. I think they could print Vindicate as an Orzhov card, sure. Needed to fade that one for a turn. Just how it goes. I'm gonna leave some sweepers in my deck for if they make goblins. So it's possible, just through dailies, not counting side events, to earn enough gold to pick up 90 Rav Allegiance if you don't spend anything now in January. I like that Arena has an initial investment, but after you've got a good chunk of cards, you don't need to spend more. Yeah, I think so, Danon. And like, honestly, like, if once you pick up your initial cards, if like you spend, you know, $100 4 times a year on Arena, like $400 is an entertainment budget. That's not unreasonable, right? Especially considering how much most people are going to get out of the time they put into Arena. Hey, Sailor Dark, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Thanks for supporting my content here and welcome. After this one, we get to go to the mid-range bracket. Yeah, I agree, Big Kitty fan. If you're interested in back and forth, this really isn't the ideal format for you. Yeah, seems reasonable. I know when I was a kid growing up, my parents didn't have an allowance for us. We didn't have really spending money, so we always just like saved up money we got from relatives from birthdays and Christmas to do things. So we always played just like the free-to-play games basically. So like once my brothers and I were enough to saved up to get computers, we like played Counter-Strike or Guild Wars or games that didn't have a recurring monthly fee. You just like buy your game once, then get infinite hours out of it. Borderlands 1 and 2. Borderlands 1, I definitely played a bit of that. That one came out a little bit closer to the end of when I was doing a lot of gaming, though. Yeah, we played a lot of OG Guild Wars. Chrissy and I actually played a little bit of Borderlands 2 together. Excuse me. Before we started playing some Overwatch. I think you'll still lose most of the time, Captain Command. I think it's just like not worth playing. Can't cast another cantrip, opponent. There's a wet ball in play. This hand's very good in this matchup. I get to curve Damping Sphere into Lingering Souls into Gideon, just like Disruption plus a clock. Let's try and run him down. Yeah, we play an okay number of board games. My wife has a massive board game collection. We don't play as much as we'd like to. Things have been busy and stuff. We'll probably play some more now that summer's wound down. Once we get done with everybody being sick, we'll actually have time to like invite people over and play games. Fun fact, you will never lose to a resolved card if you always concede to it on the stack. That's just the God's honest truth right there. I don't think Red Green Eldrazi is very good. I think the clock it puts into play is really slow and clunky, and I think the quality of the interaction that it has isn't good enough in Modern. Lightning Bolt and Thought Knot Seer isn't enough. It's not efficient enough. If I'm being honest, I'm more excited about Skyrim together possibly releasing this year than I am of an Elder Scrolls 6. Other hand, step up, braid my Damping Sphere and untap and kill me. Echoing Truth, my Damping Sphere and untap, kill me, sure. Please cast a cantrip. Dead? Dead, right? 100% dead. One with nothing. Thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. No, there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Thoughts on Alpine Moon versus Damping Sphere in the sideboard? Basically, your answer to that question, Aggro, is do you want an extra card against Valakut or do you want an extra card against Storm? Storm and Ad Nauseam. We're not deterministically dead here yet, so we'll see what they're doing. This might just be goblins. It could just be double grape shot as well. Double grape shot's not lethal though, right? Double grape shot puts me to 1. Just an empty. Okay, I've got 2 damnations in my deck. Oh, that's true. Damping Sphere is better against Amulet Titan. That is a fair assessment. Yeah, if Amulet is a concern, then it's definitely the other one. All right, so if I flash this back, I've got 7 blockers. So I get to bounce there, eat 6 goblins, take 12 down to 8, and then with Collective Brutality and another token, we might be okay next turn. I haven't actually done the calculus though. We've gone pretty wide here, which is decent. The Shambling Vent is really awesome too here because it effectively blocks 3 goblins next turn because it blocks 1 and then gains enough health to like shore off 2 others. And like they have to start smashing here because it's not getting better the longer they wait. Wow, not attacking with Electromancer is good for us. We might not need a Damnation and not die, I agree. Untapped land here would actually be a really good draw because untapped land would allow me to Collective Brutality and still leave up Shambling Vent to block. Obviously, Damnation is like the Stone Cold nuts, but we're not just dead by any means yet. I agree with that assessment. I think Shambling Vent is the best creature land out of that cycle. Does Lingering Souls let me live here too? If I double Linger, that would put me up to 8 blockers, and they have 13 attackers. So yeah, double Linger would allow me to live. That is Jimmy John's. Oh, come on, you stupid desk. The electronics in this desk have gotten really bad the older it's gotten. Awesome. Yeah, Prime is great. I don't know how people survive without Prime. It's got to be wild. All right, so if I make the ally token, oh, was it better to ult the Gideon to save my Lingering Souls tokens? Yeah, maybe. I didn't think about that. All right, so am I dead if I leave the Shambling Vent up? So Shambling Vent and these all block 5. So if they attack with this, it would effectively be like blocking this plus 4. And that means I take 8 but gain 2, so I take 6, I go down to 3. They got another empty into their hand. Puts Pyretic and Desperate Ritual into their hand. Oh, they took the 2 rituals. That makes sense. Do I full escalate this? I might just full escalate this, actually. So if I full escalate this, that puts me to 11, and then I have 4 blockers. I think it's full collective. Is the line here. And I'm gonna ditch these 2, and then I'll play a Damping Sphere post-combat. Take this empty. And now I'm at 11, and they can attack me for 12, and I have 4 blockers. Hold the door! Hold the door! Yeah, sticking wet ball is good as well. Makes us not dead to a grape shot, ideally. Great, so I'm down to 3. They're down to 9 goblins. So I make a token. If I attack with the Shambling Vent, I'm still dead to grape shot, so I think I just pass here. Although forcing them to attack with the goblins is kind of good for us, right? I think I activate the Shambling Vent because they have 9 goblins and I can block 5 of them. So if the Shambling Vent connects, they're only hitting me for 4 on the backswing. So yeah, I think I'm supposed to go to 5 here. And like it gets a point of damage in, because if I leave the Shambling Vent back, there's a chance they just don't attack next turn. So I think I want to guarantee get this hit in, because if they want to hit me down to 1 but throw away 4 goblins to do so, I think that's a win for me. And like we're dead to bolt and grape shot either way, so I don't think there's any point in playing around those. We could ult Gideon at some point, that's true. I needed the extra blocker this turn though. That is exactly lethal, right? Yep. Welcome to Thunderdome. Yay! Interactive decks in Modern. Yay! The Ban Fog deck was actually pretty good. It was a lot better than I was expecting it to be. I think we went 3 and 2 with it. All right, how we doing, folks? Welcome. My name is Jeff Hogan. We're hanging out playing some Magic the Gathering this afternoon. If you're new, I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here 30, 40, 50 hours a week, playing a ton of Magic the Gathering. I play all Construct on the channel. We play Modern on Magic Online like we're doing right now. We also play Standard on Arena. If you're enjoying my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without the wonderful support from all of them, so big shout out to them as always. Past subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. MTGOtraders.com. I love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards too. If you just go to Hoagland PayPal and check out them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. Possibility Storm will love to help you test your Magic problem-solving capabilities. They have really awesome puzzles on there that range from beginner to expert difficulty, and they put up new puzzles every single week, so check them out at PossibilityStorm.com. We're going to be solving some of their puzzles on stream in the near future. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, Warhammer, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards with them. And you might have heard me shuffling my very wonderful BCW sleeves here. BCW Supplies, love to help you protect your very valuable Magic the Gathering cards and other gaming stuff. They do sleeves and deck box and all sorts of other wonderful things, and you can save 10% on all of your orders there by using code Jeff10 at checkout with them. How can we support you through PS? I love those things. Just check their stuff out. So I don't have a strict referral code for them, but definitely check them out. Maybe if you're checking them out, especially because of my content, be sure to maybe tweet at them or let them know that you found them through me. I don't even think this deck is actually that bad. It's just so matchup dependent. Kind of. Like, I think writing a deck off as matchup dependent generally means it's bad in Modern. Like, this is a deck where it's under the fan favorite section of my website, because I think you're right. If you, like, queue into a bunch of decks that, like, care about your Lingering Souls, then you're going to have a good time. But, like, basically the way these decks work, if Lingering Souls and Wrath of God aren't cards that you want in your deck, you're not going to have a good time. The emotes turned out really well, Nick, especially the thin emote. How often do I play IRL Magic these days? I don't know, 4 or 5 times a year. I've got 2 more Paper Magic events coming up this year. I'm going to be playing at the Grand Prix in Milwaukee later this month, and I'll be playing at the Invitational in Roanoke, Virginia later next year. Y'all want some Riffle Shuffle cam while we wait for this to queue? I know y'all want to see my sweet Riffle Shuffles. Have some crotch cam / Riffle Shuffle cam. Yeah, just love the bridge. Yeah, feel that sweet, sweet bridge. This is how Magic cards were intended to be shuffled, chat. This is what you're looking for. If you don't shuffle your cards like this, you don't know what you're missing. You don't know it. You like my flannel sleep pants, by the way? I'm sick, sue me. I didn't put jeans on this morning. You can see my man titties too. You know you love my moobs, don't lie. Percaso SOS coming back for the emote. Thank you for the 2-month reset. Welcome back. Is that a giant mouse pad on my desk? It's a playmat. It's a Star City Games something or other playmat. I actually need to go order one of the message deleted playmats so I can have it for Milwaukee. I'm gonna make sure I have that to play with. Reported for porn. I'm a cam girl and I gotta show what I got, right? Listen, I ain't ashamed of my body. I know what it is, and I'm proud of it, okay? Yeah, playmats are just big mouse pads, effectively. If you didn't see it last night, okay, I'm gonna go show this picture off. I can't believe I haven't shown this picture on stream yet today. This was my family for Halloween last night. Aren't they adorable? 3/4 of us are adorable. You just like ignore the guy in the middle, but they're adorable. She's not bad either. They're fantastic. Got some great hooters in my family. Did you talk about my wife like that? What do you get? I actually haven't. Someone else mentioned their JJ's whole wheat last time I got Jimmy John's, and I haven't tried their whole wheat before. I need to, though. Can we get you to deface our oversized mouse pads that we get from you? So the inked gaming stuff comes from Ink directly. I don't print those. If you order any of the tokens on the website, I can definitely, there's a checkbox when you check out with the tokens that I can sign those before I send them out to you. So let's path this in response. Which reminds me, we have tokens, stickers, and pins as merchandise up on the website. And I believe later tonight after I sign off, we're going to have t-shirts and coffee cups up there. Need to plug that more. Sorry, I may not seem like it, but I'm actually a little bit congested today and currently coming to you through the magic of Dayquil. So I was off yesterday because both the kids and I were a little bit sick. I'm doing well enough to do my thing today. I got some caffeine in me now too. Jimmy John's brought some Coke. Dayquil is better. Salt shakers. Cocaine from Jimmy John's. Cocaine and cocaine accessories, Marty. This stream is brought to you by Dayquil. Not sponsored in any way. What we just mean is I wouldn't be upright without it. Yeah, I'm gonna ship tokens and pins and stickers worldwide. You will have to pay international shipping though. So we're shipping those like I have a giant box of pins here on the floor next to me, and Christy and I are sending those out ourselves. I need help. Reddit is bad. Just turn off Reddit. It's the best advice you're going to get this week. Just turn it off. If you go to the merchandise link above there, that Captain Commander, and just click the merchandise link at the top of my website, you'll get much better pictures than me holding them up to a blurry webcam. Christy took pictures with like rulers next to them too, so you can see how physically large they are. This is definitely just a get Shad going turn. One of the things you want to be careful of when you're playing against this deck, especially while they have Inkmoth and Arcbinder of Dread, is that you don't die to Inkmoth Nexus by mistake. They very quickly can put 10 counters on Inkmoth and kill you. We might just get to pump out enough tokens here that they just can't get through, which would be nice. What's the discount code for your tokens and pins? There's no discount code for tokens and pins. Those are priced as low as possible to cover all of our costs. As Christy and I learned going through different online methods of selling things online is not cheap. The message deleted playmat mousepad is fantastic. I agree. Listen, not everybody likes winning, Matt Wood. Who are you to judge them? Well, the good news is we've got like all these lingering souls. Oh, and I have Field of Ruin here too. So like moving in on the Yawgmoth Nexus does not seem particularly good for them. If you want to work out unique signatures for the tokens that you're ordering, we could probably make that happen. So we'll double block this Nexus here. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see them like attack with both of these. We'll go like double here, single here, and then they'll sack this Arcbound Ravager to this one and like make this a 4/4 and this a 5/5. So I want to double block here to force them to put counters on it, because if they put counters on this, that's fine for me because I have this Field of Ruin here. And like, because my opponent tapped out this turn, so normally they'd be able to, oh, they're just gonna use Balding Jar to protect it. I think that's really good for me, actually. Truth Table Leg, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome. So I'm gonna make a token here. And I think I'm just gonna play in Flashback Lingering Souls here, honestly. Yeah, if they don't hit Ballista, we should be in a pretty good spot to win this game eventually, but we are kind of like working against the clock of like them eventually finding a Walking Ballista. Regenerating, when it gets regenerated, it's removed from combat. So regenerating removes lethal damage that would be marked on it and removes it from combat. So it still gets to deal its damage inside of combat. You cannot buy playmats with bits. Although all the merch is being handled separately from Twitch stuff. Well, and part of the reason why they always find ballistas, like they have 4 copies of Demonic Tutor in their deck, right? I'm gonna bring in my Stony Silence. Collective Brutality is kind of bad. Do this, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, the fact that Stirrings is still legal is kind of an affront to Modern. Awesome Weeb Army. Oh, I guess Leylines do shut off Modular. I usually bring in Rest in Peace in this matchup. I actually think it's kind of weird that this deck has Leyline in the sideboard and not Rest in Peace. I feel like Rip's better in decks that have both, and like, I guess it shuts off our Lingering Souls flashback, but I think it's better to have the flexibility of being able to cast your thing. No, I honestly don't think so. I think if they were going to ban anything in any of those cards in Modern, they would have done it already. I kind of feel like feels like they want to just leave Modern alone. Bound into Determined, Loma's Love. If you click on my decks link below the stream, you'll get to my Stream Decker page, which will have the deck list that we played today on it. My training is finally complete. Terra, I knight thee. Defender of the Realm, go forth and defend us from Twitch chat. My opponent kept a no land 7. All right, concession, Stony. No, I think you should just play 4 Leylines. If you're gonna play Leyline, you should just play 4 of them. I love all the ritualistic offerings, just like, ooh, a new mod, sword me, sword me. No activated abilities, and it can't deal damage. Checkmate, Hardened Scales, checkmate. I tend to not like bringing in Leyline against Scales in decks that don't have looting. Yeah, but this deck doesn't have a clock. Look at that, you figured it out, Tara. Yeah, Leyline shuts off combo kills, which is important, I think. That felt good. Have we kicked Moto at all today? I feel like it crashed once, but we haven't actually kicked it. How much RAM are you using, Magic Online? 2.7 gigawatts. That's a lot of gigawatts of RAM, chat. We'll restart it after this match. Yeah, Chad's going to work. We did not get to Devoted Company. We had a couple of cut the line donations that pushed it back, so it'll stay in the queue and we'll get to it on Monday when we come back to Modern. Decided my knighting needed some extra celebration. Thanks for up into the tier 3 level. I appreciate that. Let me know if you want to add a new deck to the queue. You can use the forum as always. And if there's something already in the queue that you'd like to bump up, I'd be happy to do that for you. You can just drop me a private message. Mageologist, thank you very much for the Prime support. Welcome. How much longer until the video game portion of the stream? We're in match 3 of this league, but we haven't won a match yet. So somewhere between half a match and 2.5 matches. So I'd probably within the next hour. Four leagues. We beat the Tron deck when they mulliganed and then conceded. We won 2 matches with JAC. We won 2 matches with JAC. Yeah, I agree. This is definitely sideboard wins matches type. Sideboard cards win matches type thing. I'm gonna bring the Leylines in to shut their modular off. Yeah, my computer's not a slouch. I mean, it's impressive that it's running it at all still with almost 3 gigs of RAM used. I've got 12 virtual cores, chat, 32 gigs of RAM. We ain't messing around. Narset was 5-0 in our hearts. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Man, how many tickets am I down to? Am I out of tickets yet? 51 tickets. Ugh, I might need to buy more Moto tickets sometime soon. More Bezo bucks for you. Thanks for all the content. John Travolta, thank you for the 2 months. March 15th is the day in which Hoaglandia will know the power of my sword. Also devoted druid. Sounds good, Nick. I'm gonna mulligan this. No Stony, no Leyline. Ding. Yeah, we added Possibility Storm as a new sponsor for the stream. They do awesome stuff. The easiest shills are the ones that you don't have to spend any money on, right? Y'all should go check out Possibility Storm. They do magic puzzles. And like, as someone who's a really experienced magic player, like I've played a lot of magic, chat. Their expert level puzzles even gave me some things to think about. Definitely wasn't just and I was done. Took me, I think the first one I did took me like 5 or 6 minutes to get through. They do a good mix of getting... There's a lot of fake lines in that look like they get you close, but you wind up just short with them and you gotta find a better one. Yeah, they're really well done. When they originally approached me, before I responded to them, I like went to their website, like went through some of their puzzles, and after like trying a couple of them, I was like, these are like actually really good. Possibilitystorm.com. I should add a check command. So the Shaving My Face challenge with the Harry's Razors, I'm going to extend that through the end of November because Harry's is extending their sponsorship through the end of the year. So we're just shy of 60 people having used the Harry's code. So if 100 people use the Harry's code between now and November 30th, I'm going to baby shave my face with my wonderful Harry's Razor. All right, they've got some 1-1 chat. I think we have a chance. Sure, Nivek. Bad draw? No, the opponent's playing Hardened scales, which we drew our sideboard card, so... While I shave on stream, we're going to record it and put it on YouTube. Live streaming something short like that is bad for my average viewer count, which I try to keep high to attract more sponsors. Higher average viewer count's good for getting more money. Which, especially since arenas become a thing, that very reasonable average viewer counts, almost like real game average viewer counts. All right, let's put backup Stony into play here in case they draw their Nature's Claim. Then we'll get to clean the board out with Damnation and then like kill them with Lingering Souls eventually. The problem with the on-screen counter for Harry's is that it doesn't automatically tick all of them. One of the guys in the back end updates my counter manually at the end of the week. Some of the sales get missed on the automatic counter. I don't know, Lost Lurgoyf. I assume they have ads on their website or something along those lines. Man, we're gonna win a match, aren't we? These darn busted sideboard cards. I'm gonna go ahead and cast this before I put Lingering Souls into play, just like clean their board out. Well, there's the card your deck's named after. What is the result of that straw poll I sent out? So far, Standard on Arena is leading, but by a very small margin. It's time to duel. All right, since I drew a land here, I'm actually going to play the Lingering Souls out so I can start attacking them very quickly. Magic Online doesn't have an interactive overlay like Arena does. It's a software straight out of the early 2000s. The poll is emailed to your subscriber email. It's also in the subs Discord. I will link the poll again in the subscribers Discord. It is a sub poll and it's not for just every viewer. So if you're not in the sub Discord, pop in there or check your email. I sent that out earlier today. Did you hit double claim? Are we getting double claimed? Yeah, that poll isn't a we're getting rid of modern poll if it doesn't go a certain way. That poll is I'm going to lean into doing more standard and slightly less modern. I'm not sure, Matt Wood. Maybe check your spam folder. Although if you get normal Twitch emails, I can't imagine why that one specifically would have gotten caught in a spam folder. And you also pop into the subs Discord. I posted the link there. The poll was just very simple. It was just, do you prefer standard, modern, or you don't care for content? Just kind of gauge where people are at that send me dollary dues. Discord is here. Thing to note on the Discord link, you need to be doing it via your desktop. There's a link to the Devoted Druid deck on my website. If you go to the deck queue, not all of the links always populate onto the widget under my stream. Twitch extensions have some details where they can't post links to certain websites. Portable, thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for supporting my content here with that. I voted, where's my sticker? Damn, Americans always want stickers for voting. They're like children, I swear. Alright, so I'm gonna push one of these and path the other probably. So like spend some of my removal spells, so we'll push the one that doesn't give them 1/1, we'll path another. I mean, honestly, I can path this one and then start Shambling Venting them. Yeah, I think 2 and 3 is probably gonna end up being the appropriate mix. 2 days of modern and then 3 days of standard. Especially while standard's popular. We might switch back in the other direction if standard starts to get dry, but I'd be pretty surprised if this current standard format gets dry. That being said, it's obviously going to change in January when we get a new set. So anything's possible. I just wanted to make sure that like doing 2 modern 3 standard was like in line with what people that are supporting my content want, and it seems like that's about a good ratio. I also think it's important that I spend time doing more standard content now, especially because with all of the bigger people that are bringing more people in for standard, there's a good opportunity for me personally to grow my content by doing standard content. Like people like Savitz and Nox and them, they've been consistently having, 3,000 to 5,000 people watching them play standard on Arena. I think I'm just gonna fire up both Shambling Vents and attack here. It lets them crack the Hangerback Walker, but the Shambling Vents get to get in. We'll see them animate the Blink Moth. Nope. Kind of surprised we didn't see this trade here. So they're taking 6 down to 2, and they'll be dead on board next turn. Phoenix Blade, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month and keeping me employed. Ooh, we had a tip there. Ace Tiger, thank you for the 10. Some corporate cards for the standard dono with red-white cards. Sounds good. Thanks for the support. All right, let's kick Moto really quick. I need to run to the restroom, too. I've been going for almost 7 hours. And I had the large Coke from Jimmy John's. Let's get this loaded back up. We got 1 to 2 more matches in this League of Modern, and then we're going to be rolling on right on into some standard with Arena. Got, is it Drake's coming up first for Arena, I believe. Yeah, the Hardened Scales deck, it's basically Affinity, right? Just like dies to a lot of the same Affinity hate cards. It's got play to it, but like when the hate cards are in play, you're just dying. No, I need to add some sound deadening down here. My voice kind of booms around my room. This room is like, you can see my messy house, my messy basement, but there's just a whole lot of nothing down here in this room. So. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna run to the restroom, don't go anywhere. We got plenty more Magic coming up. All right. Did chat behave? I see a lot of timeouts. Was chat not behaving? The bot's going ham. I don't understand, Anner. Are you saying that if it's not 40 hours a week of modern content, you're not interested in being around? Is that the metric that you're getting? If I'm anything close to resembling variety MTG, it's just not good enough? No, this new standard format's one of the best formats of Magic I've ever played. It's from a quality of gameplay standpoint, I think it's much better than Modern. Magic's good standard formats are always the best formats Magic has, in my opinion. it's just been a while since we've had a good standard format. People have been hurt by standard for so long. I think there's a bunch of people who play Magic that like have literally never seen a good standard format. Yeah, in fact, my #1 format of all time for personal favorites is the original Innistrad with RTR. Yeah, I know Arena's different, Anner. You should spend a little bit of time actually playing it. Once I'd played Arena a small touch, following the Arena streams became much easier. What makes a good standard format in the Hughlin Paragam? There is a good standard format, in my opinion, should have a lot of back and forth gameplay. Your decisions should matter. And the good decks should be, obviously every established format is going to have best decks, but the best decks shouldn't be the best decks to the point of they're unbeatable. You should be able to want to beat the best deck if that's what you want to do. No, that's exactly correct, Yaku. In fact, if you read my Green Black Elves article on CoolStuffInc.com, there's a budget list in that gets rid of caverns and Gluten Leaf Palaces and stuff like that. It doesn't even, in my opinion, it doesn't even matter how many best decks there are, just so long as like the current green black in this standard format is a great example of what I think is an ideal best deck, where the deck is obviously good and doing objectively powerful things, but it isn't so good that people can't beat it when they want to beat it. In your opinions, is Modern nowadays better or worse than last year? I think it's about the same as last year. In my opinion, it's worse than when we had Splinter Twin and Birthing Pod, though. I definitely preferred Modern with Twin. I think my favorite point in playing Modern was probably when Infect with Gitaxian Probe was at the height of its power when Splinter Twin was legal then. Is this a Collective Brutality getting escalated here? My problem with Pauper is that it just creates very boring gameplay on average in my experience. Just not particularly exciting. Yeah, that's it. Right before they banned Splinter Twin and then printed Eldrazi. Printed cheap Eldrazi would probably be my pick. That was like such an awkward moment it was such an awkward moment for Wizards, because like they banned Splinter Twin and then introduced something that was far worse for this format. Yeah, this standard I think I would put above my favorite period of Modern for sure. And like even like standard versus Modern and all that aside, just like from a quality of gameplay standpoint, just like playing Arena is much more enjoyable and consumable than playing Modern, or playing Magic Online, sorry. Not talking about formats, but talking about applications and clients and stuff like that. There are Green Black Elves in the queue for Modern. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to be putting some dealer's choice points into Elves as we head towards December, because I'm going to be playing Elves at the Invitational too. So I get to go ahead and block here and here. I assume we're going to see Lightning Bolt kill my Wall of Omens here, and then we'll see Gurmag Angler come down. Well, to be fair, like, banning Splinter Twin, the cards that were expensive in Splinter Twin, like, stayed valuable. It wasn't like Scalding Tarn and Snapcaster Mage were suddenly worthless. I mean, I've played a bunch of Tron. I just don't enjoy the games that Tron creates. Like, the play patterns it makes aren't particularly interesting, in my opinion. Yeah, the Infect deck that we played recently, I was thinking about maybe playing that, but, after thinking about it more, I don't really want to play a deck that's soft to burn. And I think Elves is very good against both burned and humans. Sounds good, giggling. We'll be into some arena and some standard with the wonderful interactive overlay here soon. I think I'm gonna get Pirates out of my system in Milwaukee, and if Pirates feels okay in Milwaukee, I'll probably play that at the Invitational. But no, in general, it's just kind of too far out. I don't actually know is the answer. And I think the Storm matchup for Elves is pretty winnable, having played that deck a good deal. Path to Exile is a great draw here. Honestly, this game's kind of a good example of why I think this deck should probably have 4 Path and only 3 Fatal Push. I think if you have access to both Path and Push, you should play 4 Paths before the first push. I actually think the Dredge matchup's pretty close for Elves. We've actually beaten it the last couple times we played it on stream. Like, Dredge's best draws give you a hard time as Elves, but your Dredge's average draws you can beat as Elves, no problem. Man, what a tilt. It's kind of unfortunate. So I'll path this Gurmag Angler here. Honestly, I might just take 4 from this Hollowed one rather than chump blocking again this turn. It's like go to 13. Janice, also having played against a lot of elf decks on Magic Online, Janice, most people aren't playing the configuration of elves that I'm playing. Like, the number of people who play elves on Magic Online that just, like, don't have black cards in their deck is unreal. Damnation is interesting. All right, the fact that I have Damnation here means I'm going to be a little bit more defensive, I think. I think speculating about stuff like that's kind of pointless. Karn Liberated. I think, like, ultimately Thoughtseize just, like, not going to make any changes. It's kind of silly to speculate about it. That's true. I was promised bits per Yu-Gi-Oh card cast. It's good EV to slam this Damnation. That being said, I think we're winning this game without casting it, so probably not. Like I said, honestly, I think you just need to, like, accept Modern for what it is now, enjoy the games that are good, concede the games that are bad, and then, like, if it's not the format for you, that's fine. Not every format of Magic has to appeal to every player. Like, I feel like there's this really weird concept among people that, like, if a format is good, everybody has to enjoy it. And I think that's just, like, couldn't be further from the truth. So here's the thing about post lands versus Tron lands. Post lands are much better at casting large spells, but they're much worse at casting small spells. And, like, casting Emrakul on turn 5 is, like, really slow in Modern. Yeah, this is exactly the type of deck that Stoneforge would slot into and be very reasonable. Formats like Penny Dreadful effectively don't exist for someone like me. I only play supported Magic formats for the most part, so without it being in a supported format, it's just, like, irrelevant to me as a person and a content creator. I play Magic to make content that people are interested in, and people by and large just aren't interested in stuff like Penny Dreadful. Cast Damnation, try and close. Alright, so we get to bring in our Leyline of the Voids. I actually think Ob Nixilis and Baneslayer are pretty reasonable here. Sorin, Grim Nemesis is definitely too slow. Collective Brutality is a little bit slow. Thoughtseize is a little bit slow. Seems fine. Seems fine. Again, really wish that I had a 4th Path to Exile, but we definitely keep our Fatal Pushes in here. It's not a matchup we board them out in. Real talk for a second with Twitch chat. Panera for lunch greater than Witch Witch by a large margin. I don't think I've ever heard of Witch Witch. Where's that from? Thoughtseize hurts us. I don't really want to be taking extra damage in a aggressive matchup like this. I'd much rather just, like, kill their threats once they get on the table rather than try and snipe them out of their hand. Honestly, the biggest difference between Tron and Posts in Modern is that Tron's best hands involve turn 3 Karn, and your likelihood of having Karn on turn 3 with Cloud Post is very, very low. Yay, magic. So we're getting attacked for 6 on turn 2. But at least they don't have to play against Stoneforge Mystic. Gross. Could have gone worse for us, I guess. They could have had 2 Hallowed Ones and discarded these Flame Wakes instead. No, you can turn 3 Karn with Cloud Post. You go turn 1 Post, turn 2 Post, turn 3 Glimmer Void. Glimmer Void comes into play untapped. And it's very unlikely to do that because you need that specific sequence, and you can't really be using your mana to set up your plays on turn 1 and turn 2. This is match number 4. We are currently 1 and 2 in this league. They took my Lingering Souls. Thanks, I guess. The fact that they took this Lingering Souls might mean that I can actually live until I cast this Damnation. So, thank you. Stoneforge needs to stay banned. Oh, Magic players like lemmings off a cliff. I think my favorite part about a new non-rotating format existing is I will no longer feel the need to bicker with people who want to say things like Stoneforge should stay banned, because I'll just get to ignore them while I play a different format. Path's a decent draw here. So, like, we're going to get to chump this Hallowed One, take 3 down to, all right, whatever, take 4. But then we're going to get to Damnation, clean the board, and then Baneslayer and Path's Exile can help stabilize us. You never been timed out on my channel. We can help you with that, Phoenix Blade. Give you the full Hoaglandian, as we like to call it around here. Silly opponent, you've activated my trap card. Your move, Yugi boy. Thank you, Captain Command. Gunner Jurgen, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. All right, so they have double Flame Wake in hand. I'm going to 5 off of this. I'm going to shock in and go to 3 here. We'll be dead to a lightning bolt here, but it's definitely just like, yeah, that was a good draw. Painless White Source was a good draw. Oh. This Baneslayer's like probably unbeatable, right? And they could have a Dismember, I guess, because like they saw Gideon, so like Dismember could be coming in there. Yeah, Phoenix is obligated to attack. So, like, I'm gaining health on this combat step. And then I get to untap, Path the Gurmag, Gideon something else, and, like, attack with Baneslayer. I mean, if they attack with Gurmag, they may or may not attack with the Gurmag, though. What timeline? It's a strange timeline, Marty. It's a strange timeline. Fear not, child. It's not just you. It's a strange timeline. All right, so let's get another white source here. No basic swamp. That's so good for me. Means we're not in danger of getting a Delve Threaded next turn. Hey, Zinta, thanks for the $5 tip. I appreciate that. I got into grad school for Masters in Instructional Design. Put my celebration towards Grixis Hollow Flare. Will do. Thanks for the support. So, Baneslayer plus Vent or Baneslayer plus Gideon are both lethal next turn. Looks like we'll be heading to a match number 5 here very soon. And like I said earlier when we were playing this, basically the matches that are good for a deck like this are, it's just very easy to ask yourself. You go, does my Damnation have a text box? Is my Fatal Push good? If the answer to those questions is yes, then you likely have a very reasonable shot with a deck like this. But if your sweepers aren't good, you're going to have an uphill struggle with this deck. So we'll see if we get a third deck where our Damnations are good and we'll be good to go. Alright, so they're dead on board. Is Ritualist better or worse than Languish in Modern? It's just different. They do slightly different things. So like Ritual of Soot always kills Tarmogoyf, whereas Languish often doesn't. So animate this, kill you. You only have one creature that can block, and Baneslayer has flying. Well, I mean, to be fair, like, Hallowed One isn't really a mid-range deck, but it's a good matchup for us, to say the least. Oh, you stupid desk. It's been really bad today about not actually going up when I press the button. Alright. The classic 0-2 into 3-2. A true staple of the Hoglandia Nation. I mean, this is a hand of magic cards. If they play a turn 1 Tron land, I'm conceding the match and playing standard. Just to set expectations here. If they put a Tron land into play, I'm conceding the match. Opponent mulligan to 4, so they're either playing Bogles or Tron. What if it's Valakut? Not playing against Valakut either. What you doing? What you got? Alright. Got a freebie. go. Play the only legal mode this card has. Is it just burn? It must just be burn, right? Alright, so let's play Wall of Omens. Hopefully hit a land drop here. Ideally, they're looking for like a Shambling Vent, right? It's a burn player who's lost the mirror too many times. This card's really good against Collective Brutality, to be fair here. Cast Eidolon. Rats. Just a good EV Damnation there. You'll cast the Yu-Gi-Oh card. I mean, it's not really very interesting. We're super dead. Why does Bird have Leyline, right? Do 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 do. Beep do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Burp do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do. Did you receive these Wizards game codes? Nah, we don't do any sponsored stuff around here. The only sponsored things we get from Wizards are through the bounty board. This stream is in no way endorsed by Wizards of the Coast. This is sponsored. This stream's sponsored by viewers like you. Sure. No, Damping Sphere is very bad in this matchup. They don't generally play multiple spells in a turn, and like even when they do, they don't need to play multiple spells in a turn. Sorin also makes life linking tokens, which is very good. You're not wrong. I do a lot of things for dump trucks full of money. Shambling Vent, very good here. Fatal Push, also good. Planeswalker and a Planeswalker means we're probably going to be able to escape with the 3-2 here. If Watsy won't support you, I will. Keep on the content. Thank you for the 9 months must fall casting. I appreciate that. This Eidolon's gonna get them dunked very quickly here. So I'm at 18. So like I'm gonna make a 2/2 here, and then like next turn I'm gonna go land Sorin, make a vampire plus Gideon smash for 7. Just like kill them in 2 turns. Yeah, definitely leading on Gideon. Just a space smash face. You got him. So Chad killed an Eidolon and gained me. Gained me 4 health. Like, sign me up. I think that trade's good for us. Like, we traded for 2 of their decent cards. Just like another Boros Charm? Yeah, sure. Alright, I'm gonna gain 3 next turn. Is that okay with you? I ain't got spells, but I got lands that attack. Sorin's a pirate, chat. Should you keep track of what goes where? So they can attack me for 5 here, but I'm gonna hit them for 3, gain 3 on the backswing, so kind of feel like we're a lock here. Like, if we don't draw any spells for the rest of the game, we could maybe die, but I don't know, if they don't find an answer to this Shambling Vent's probably gonna put them in the ground all on its own. It's like turn 7 going back to 20 against Burn. They have like Searing Blaze here, and we don't draw spells. I'd like to turn my land sideways to kill you. Yep. Thank you for the bits, Captain Command. I'm just gonna go ahead and pass here. I don't think there's any reason to attack my Shambling Vent into a potential Searing Blaze here. Yeah, Boros Charm's been eroded to be able to target Planeswalkers. If we keep failing to draw spells and like my opponent draws all gas from here, they could kill us. We really want like another Planeswalker. Ask my thoughts on Amulet Titan. Yeah, I think Amulet Titan's really good. I think it's a sweet deck. I think it has a lot of play to it and a lot of lines. So I feel like if they had a Blaze, they would have attacked last turn. So I'm gonna Plush Chad there and then fire up the Shambling Vent. This could be a misread. I don't know, I could get punished for this. Yeah, Amulet Titan's never been bad. Just like one of the proactive decks that's very reasonable in the format. See how bad my read is here. No, the one hit point is worth far more than thinning my deck. Not particularly close. Weird that they didn't block, so they took 2 for no reason here. Thinning your deck is pretty statistically insignificant if you're not drawing a large portion of your deck. And I'm not even going to fetch here because, again, the thinning doesn't really matter. And I'd like to keep my health a little high. Like, going to a number that's divisible by 3 is never generally a bad play. Opponent said, too much Gideon, thanks for the games. Alright, well, we ran the 0-2 back into the 3-2, the true Hoaglandia staple. Confirmed to be a real Modern deck. Like I said at the start of this league, I think if you're really into playing a bunch of Planeswalkers in Modern, I think this deck's okay. I mean, basically the answer to whether or not this deck is going to be reasonable, you ask yourself, like, do your Damnations and your Wrath of Gods, do they have text? If your opponent really cares about your sweeper, then the matchup's probably good for you. If your opponent doesn't care about the sweeper, it's probably not great for you. That's going to be it for my Modern portion for today.